Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews and welcome to another episode of your weekly entertainment news. Diving into so many Marvel related news here. A lot of information, a lot of updates regarding like Phase 5, Phase 6, future projects here. So let's get into it here. Now, I know I mentioned it in the last episode here where I've been trying to recover from a cough for the last 4 weeks, so I'm feeling 100% better when it comes to the cough. However, now I might sound a little bit off. That's not because of the cough or the sore throat or anything like that. I had some numbing gel put on my side of my jaw here from the dentist, so I'm basically working with one side of my jaw swollen here, but hopefully it doesn't affect the quality of the mic or the sound too much. But let's get straight into it with our first trailer that got released here. Basically, this is from a show by bryancranston called Your Honor. I feel like not a lot of people have been talking about this. For me, I really enjoyed season 1 of this because this trailer is for season 2. It's basically about bryancranston, who's a judge, and his son committed a crime, did a hit and run on a big mob mafia boss, and he's trying to help him cover it up basically here. And the plot line, the storyline, the character development throughout the show in season 1 was really well written, and bryancranston as usual just kills it in the role. So I really thought this show was a solid show. Season 1 had so much great action sequences, so much great dynamics between characters, so much suspension, tension, build up in the show itself. So for the fact that they're having a season 2, I'm very excited about this. Now season 2 is going to have 10 episodes and it's going to be streaming starting on January 13th. So a really good, for me, week where you've got Your Honor coming out on January 13th and then the Last of Us show coming out on January 15th, Bad Batch 2 coming out. So I'm having a good month in January for shows specifically. So for me, I am very excited for this. If you haven't seen Your Honor, I highly recommend the show because it is a fantastic show, a really well written show. And the finale too of season 1, I'm not going to spoil it, but it just has you on your edge of your seat, and the surprises that takes place in the finale really is eye-opening and shocking too. So highly recommend Your Honor. Watch season 1 in preparation for season 2 because I know based on this trailer it looks fantastic. Now the next trailer that came out here, I'll be honest, there was very little trailers that got released this week. However, for this one, it was showing the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. I mentioned in the last episodes I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who, and they revealed the trailer for it. For those of you that are a huge fan of Doctor Who, let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts, your opinion on that, because you've got David Tennant returning, you've got Donna Noble, catherinetate returning, you've got neilpatrickharris being as the villain here. Just a lot of like excitement coming around Doctor Who. And with this trailer, the lines, the dialogue, and even the action sequences look so fantastic. But the line with David Tennant bringing up as the Doctor, mentioning how if Donna Noble remembers him, she will die. Just
if she ever remembers me, she will die.
He hasn't missed a beat when it comes to playing the Doctor. And so for me, I'm very excited. As I mentioned in the last episode, the rejuvenation, the regeneration of this show, and this is going to kick off with a fantastic episode, fantastic specials. So I'm hugely excited for this. Again, let me know down in the comment section below if you're not a fan of Doctor Who or if you've never seen it. I highly recommend it because it is a fantastic sci-fi type show. So definitely check out the trailer too if you haven't got the chance. And before we move on to like the final trailer, final discussion here, timestamps will be in the description down below, and so that way you can skip around to a particular news story, particular like article that you're very much interested in. Timestamps will be in the description here below. But the next trailer that did get released here was mnightshyamalan's latest movie, Knockatthecabin, and it sort of gave us a more better explanation, better plot of what the movie's going to be about, because essentially from what I'm seeing here is that Davebautista and his crew go into this cabin with these 2 male actors and this little girl. They have to basically, one of them has to sacrifice themselves to save humanity, and basically the line is that will you sacrifice your loved one to save the rest of the world? I am really liking the look of this trailer. I'll be honest, the first trailer that got released had my reservations, but I feel like this one, M. Night Shyamalan's movies are a lot of hit and miss, but this one I think could be a good hit. Dave Bautista has been killing it lately with Knives Out, Glass Onion. He did a fantastic job in that movie. With this one, it looks like he's going to be doing a really good job as well. So the movie, the premise, looks very fantastic. I'm just hoping that the storyline pays off. The ending is a really solid ending, because Old by M. Night Shyamalan was such a letdown and a huge disappointment. I'm hoping the payoff really does land for this movie. But if you've seen the trailer, let me know down in the comment section below your excitement level, your reservation. Let me know down in the comment section below here. Now for the first news story of the week, as I mentioned when talking about Your Honor trailer, with The Last of Us show coming out, they've basically given us a brief showing of what the runtime is going to be looking like. This is coming from the direct here, basically marketing as the HBO's Last of Us has been ramping up in the past weeks as a January premiere approaches fast, and a new update about episode 1's runtime may have further boosted the anticipation for its debut. HBO also confirmed that The Last of Us would have a 9-episode first season that covers part 1 of the hit video game. This confirmation led fans to speculate how its showrunners will tell Joel and Ellie's story throughout season 1. Basically, the events that happened in the first game in The Last of Us Part 1 will basically be told throughout season 1, and my guess is that if there's going to be a season 2, it's going to be based on the events of The Last of Us Part 2. However, from what I'm seeing here, from what I'm revealing here, is that in the article, it's showing here that the runtime for the popular show, it's listing as 1 hour and 25 minutes, so basically a 90-minute first episode, which just goes to show how much storytelling they're going to be doing, how much plot they want to get through, so much from the video game that they want to try and adapt. And with the episode 1 running at 90 minutes, I am so excited for this. I've been mentioning it so many times. This is going to be a fantastic show, I can already tell. And with The Last of Us, it's such a fantastic game, so much to dive into with like the storytelling and the events that take place. So this is going to be an hour and 25 minutes for the first episode with a 9-episode season. So let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts, your opinions, what your hype level is, what your thoughts are about the first episode being that long. Let me know down in the comment section below here. And the next story here is we get a little bit of an update regarding Stranger Things. The actor who played Will, Noahschnapp, he gave an update of like his potential storyline and what could be going on with him in season 5. As I mentioned in my Stranger Things review, link will be somewhere around here, I mentioned that I feel like they're gonna be focusing a lot on like Will and his character because of the development that they did in season 4 with him, and like his interactions with Mike and with the other characters here. And I just feel like something's big is going to happen in season 5 with Will's character, and this is sort of just confirmation on that, where he basically mentions that in season 5, the final season, that his storyline is going to get justice, his storyline is going to come full circle here. So this basically comes from like a recent interview with Forbes. Schnapp, and once again I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name here, he was asked if he could reveal any details about Stranger Things season 5, to which the actor offered an interesting tease for the upcoming season, revealing that he feels the Duffer Brothers have done a great job with Will's character in season 5, before teasing a potential full circle moment for the show by stating it will end with Will. This is a full quote here. I can just tell you that I'm very excited for what's to come. I think they did a great job with Will's character this season and beautifully addressed everything they needed to. The way they closed the show is just perfect. The story started with Will and it ends with Will. So, as I mentioned, I feel like Will's going to be such a vital role in this season, and something's going to happen, whether he turns or, because even towards the end of the episode in the finale of season 4, they focused a lot on like Will towards like the final part of the episode. So I feel like he's either going to turn or something's just chaotic is going to happen, and that Will is going to be the main center of it, because he was in the center of it in season 1, 2, etc. So I'm very curious, and this also makes me more excited to see season 5. Let me know down in the comment section below your excitement level, what you think and theories and speculation of Will's character, what he means by it's going to end with Will, just how it started. Let me know down all of this in the comment section below here. Now, before we get into like all the Marvel updates and information here, yesterday at the time of this recording was Stan Lee's 100th birthday. Rest in peace, Mr. Stan Lee. And Disney Plus has announced that there's going to be a new documentary based on Stan Lee. It's sort of going to be like a tribute to him, and like he just paved the way for superheroes, and just like his cameos were just so heartwarming, so amazing, really funny and cute. So I'm definitely going to be checking this one out here, but I just wanted to like let everybody know about this. Just wishing Stan Lee a happy 100th birthday and sharing my thoughts, my opinions and my excitement level for this, because I love what Stan Lee's work and I'm actually really excited to see this. Just a little brief like insight of his life and his thought process here, so just wanted to throw that out there. And speaking of like untimely deaths here, basically Ryancoogler has come out earlier this week explaining a little bit of a brief explanation of what the original plot for Black Panther Wakanda Forever was going to be with Chadwick Boseman. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter here, and this is mentioning that this was essentially going to be focusing on a father-son type storyline here, where he mentioned that the blip between Infinity War and Endgame was going to be playing a key role here, because Ryancoogler goes here that this was going to be a father-son story from the perspective of the father here. Because in the first movie, it was about a father-son story from the perspective of the sons. And he also continues on saying that the audience would have been introduced to Chadwick Boseman's son as he was sort of like being introduced in the post-credit scene of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But Ryancoogler says that he would have been introduced much earlier in the film, and that basically explaining that the first scene was an animated sequence. You hear Nakia talking to Toussaint, saying that, "Tell me what you know about your father." You realize that he doesn't know his dad was the Black Panther, he never met him, and Nakia is remarried to a Haitian dude. Then we cut to reality, and it's the night that everybody comes back from the blip. You see T'Challa meet the kid for the first time. And fans would have also not just learnt about Toussaint earlier, they would have also experienced the narrative through his eyes, along with a 3-year time jump that sees T'Challa co-parenting. And he also confirmed that Namor was always going to be the antagonist. The tone was going to be similar. The character was going to be grieving the loss of time, coming back after being gone for 5 years as a man with so much responsibility to so many. Coming back after a forced 5-year absence, that was what the film was tackling. He was grieving time he couldn't get back. Grief was a big part of it. And this sort of like makes sense, because as much as I enjoyed the film, I thought it was really fantastic. There were some scenes and some sequences that I thought were very felt like it shouldn't have been there, especially when it comes to like Val's character. But it sort of sounds like Val was going to be facing off with like Black Panther and his son, and then you have like the Namor aspect. So all of it was just going to be a continuing storyline and a great development between like Val, Namor and Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. But I'm glad Ryancoogler did like bring this up, mention there, like at least we get like a brief idea, brief explanation of what potentially it could have been with Chadwick Boseman. But I feel like overall the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie was really well written and one of the better movies in Phase 4. But this, I just wanted to bring it up there. Let me know down your thoughts, your opinion in the comment section below here, what you think about this plot, what you think of how this movie could have played out. Hit the comment section below for me. So next up on the movie news here is we sort of get an update with charliecox's DareDevil. Basically they are going to start filming from February of next year all the way until December, so around 11 months of filming for this 18 episode special. And charliecox has been making rounds basically explaining that when it comes to like DareDevil, it's not going to be as gory as the Netflix show here. He's saying here, basically, this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, "My instinct is that on Disney Plus it will be dark, but it won't be as gory." He basically explaining here that he's aware that of those fans' expectations, but argues that pulling back on some of that violence and making the character and show more accessibility to a wide audience may not be a bad thing. He quotes, I would say to those people, we've done that. Let's take things that really worked, but can we broaden? Can we appeal to a slightly younger audience without losing what we've learned about what works? And he's also bringing up the fact that there's going to be a lot more focus on courtroom scenes. It's an 18 episode show. I feel like they are going to have a heavy influence on courtroom scenes. I've heard rumors about Jessica Jones also appearing in this show, but you've got Kingpin, Echo, Daredevil. Like, I'm very excited for this show. I loved the Netflix Daredevil. I'm slightly worried that he's mentioning that they want to try and appeal to a younger audience. Like, I understand it's not going to be as gory, and hopefully it's going to be as dark, and they do continue that sort of like rating from the Netflix show, and they keep up with that sort of like action sequences, violence, just to make it as great as it is possible. I am slightly worried about it being targeted to a younger audience, but I'm hoping that they can pull it off. 18 episodes is just something that I hope breaks the Disney Plus formula when it comes to shows, and that they actually do produce a fantastic show. Like, I don't want them to mess this up, because Daredevil was such a fantastic show. So I'm really, really hoping that it is going to be a great show, and that when they do have the courtroom scenes, it's not going to be like the She-Hulk courtroom scenes, because oh my god, those were bad. But it is going to have better courtroom scenes, like once like the Daredevil Netflix show. So my excitement level is still a bit higher when it comes to Daredevil, because it's such a fantastic character. Charliecox is a fantastic Daredevil, and the show itself is just, you can't mess this up. So really, really hoping that this is going to be a solid show. My expectations level, as I mentioned, is high, but let me know down your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below, what you think about him mentioning that they want to appeal to a younger audience here. And then for the final news story of the week here, we've got a lot of like updates regarding Captain America for New World Order. There's now basically information coming out here where the Celestial from the Eternals movie, the end of the Eternals movie, is going to be playing a key role, where there's going to be people fighting to get adamantium from the Celestial Island, fighting to try and take over that island, get the adamantium, take over and become in charge of the actual Celestial Island. So this comes from a scooper named Daniel RPK. He shared this on his Patreon. He's basically reporting here that the MCU sequel will be about an international conflict that emerges over adamantium after the X-Men related metal is discovered on Temut, the Celestial in the middle of the ocean here. And he went on to state that every country wants a piece of adamantium and to claim the island as their own. And as I mentioned here, like with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, you've got Val, who mentioned that she wants the US to be like this super country that is in charge of every other country. She was talking about wanting to get vibranium, wanting to go to war with Black Panther and Wakanda to get vibranium. This looks like that she is going to be taking over with the Thunderbolts to get adamantium so that she can try and go to war with Wakanda. And Harrison Ford, who is now being cast as Thunderbolt Ross, is also going to be playing a key role. He is apparently going to be the villain of Captain America 4, but there's also a lot of like other villains going to be mentioned here, because you've got the leader, who's played by Tim Blake Nelson, being returning here, and with Thunderbolt Ross, he is going to become the president of the US, and he'll try to claim this Celestial Island and the adamantium at all cost. And now with this, you've got the plot with Sam Wilson, Captain America, assembling his own mini Avengers team to try and stop this. So Captain America 4 New World Order, trying to prevent people going to war, trying to get the adamantium. Looks like a really like jam-packed movie with so much plot and storyline and characters being delved into this. So it looks like it's going to be like a mini Avengers type movie, similar to like Civil War. I'm very excited for this. I have really high expectations with this. I feel like with the leader being brought in, you're going to have the Hulk and his son having that little element in there, so they could be part of like the mini Avengers. So you've got Thunderbolt Ross and Val being in there with the Thunderbolts as part of this now, and then Wakanda possibly playing a role, since like adamantium is one of the strongest metal on Earth. They don't want it to be falling into the hands of Val. So much potential elements and storyline that they have with their disposal here, and it just basically sounds like there's going to be an all-out war going on in this movie for the Celestial and for the adamantium, because with Wolverine too, like his claws are made from adamantium. I feel like the US are going to need that to then start the MCU version of Wolverine and like other like experiments that they're going to be doing on like other people. So who knows what's going to happen here, but with every detail emerging about Captain America 4, it does sound like it's going to be a very jam-packed great movie, and something that's going to really kick off with the next phases of Marvel here. But that about wraps it up for this weekly entertainment news here. Let me know down your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below about Captain America 4, New World Order, Thunderbolts, the adamantium, Val, just all of this going on here. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below regarding this, your excitement level for Captain America 4, and your excitement level for like all the news in terms of Marvel here. But this is just my thoughts, my opinions, and everything brought to you here that I found this week. Once again, as I mentioned, timestamps will be in the description down below for everything, so you can skip around, see which particular article is interesting to you more. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening here. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos here. Like I mentioned, this is a weekly episode type show. Every week, every weekend, I'm going to be trying to be posting all the news stories of the week, so subscribe so that you don't miss out on that. There's going to be a Marvel Phase 3 tier ranking video coming out as I'm building up towards Phase 5. I've already done Phase 4 tier ranking, so link is going to be somewhere down here as well, so check that out if you haven't already. And then keep an eye out on the channel for Phase 3. I'll be doing Phase 2 in January and Phase 1 in February, just in time for Ant-Man Quantumania. So keep an eye out on the channel there, hit the notification bell, subscribe button, so that you don't miss out on any future videos here. Also, I have got a Twitter, link is going to be in the description down below. Go follow me on Twitter so that you don't miss out on whenever I post a video. But once again, thank you so much for watching. This is YK Reviews. Peace.